This new creation from WhyGolf is going to revolutionize the way that you practice so you can play more consistently and probably have a lot more fun. Now, most of us know about alignment aids, right? We know how important it is to get aligned properly to your target. And most of us just use alignment rods because they're easy to carry with you, and definitely they are going to help. They're better than nothing. But the problem is that one, most guys don't even use these. Two, is that they don't help with anything else. And that's where this new awesome product from WhyGolf comes in. Because of the sight lines that they have in here and because of the size of it, not only are you going to get your alignment dialed by getting your feet along this line, it's also going to help with your head position, your ball position, and your weight. Too many guys set up too far back or too far forward or get their head back or head this way or their ball position's way off, and then they wonder why they're not playing more consistently. So this thing is super easy to use. You can use it at the simulator, you can use it outside. We're going to take you through different ways to use it in this video, but it's very simple and can help you practice more efficiently. Because again, the biggest problem most golfers make is bad alignment, typically from aiming too far right. When you're too far right, you're gonna take the club too far inside, you're gonna come down steep, the face is gonna be open, and you're gonna hit that nasty pull slice that every golfer knows way too well. But this thing can absolutely help fix a lot of those issues, so that way you're not wasting time at the simulator or at the driving range, because let's get real, there's nothing worse than spending time and money feeling like your game actually got worse. So when you practice with the alignment mirror, I know that you're gonna avoid a lot of those bad habits and hopefully play wicked smart golf. So let's get into some different ways to use it. So the first way I like to use the alignment mirror is just when you're getting warmed up. So I have a grip trainer on an old wedge, and we're just working on fundamentals. I feel like most people on the driving range are just skipping fundamentals and looking for something cool and sexy, but in reality, it just comes down to the basics. Your setup, if your weight's too far back, if it's too far forward, and your grip. So what I like to do here is just, again, get this situated, get it middle of my stance, but I'm just working on fundamentals. I'm not swinging full here, just making sure my body lines are right. I'm not setting up open or closed. And most importantly, getting my head in a good spot too. So it should be right down the middle of the mirror, and I'll just hit some shots. Again, working on fundamentals. You can do a lot of drills with this too, which is really nice. Again, if our alignment is messed up, everything can go downhill really fast. And again, speaking from, unfortunately, a lot of experience. So again, making sure my lines are good. Just working on fundamentals. Another way I like to use it is when I'm doing some drills. So when I am doing some technical swing work, one of my favorite drills for early extension, which has definitely been a habit of mine, is, tend to come up and kind of stand up. Trust me, you'll hit a lot of thin shots. I'd rather have thin than fat, but I know that that's an area to improve this off season. So what I will do is set up to it like normal. I have a short iron, I think I have a 9-iron here, but then what I'm gonna do is choke up. So when you choke up, now the club's all of a sudden down, which is gonna force us to, again, go down and through it. When you're doing technical drills though, sometimes you forget about your alignment. So this is nice because again, we can make sure we're setting up good. We're not developing any bad habits. Do the drill here. Didn't successfully do that one. But again, we're getting instant feedback. It wasn't an alignment issue. It was, again, just going back to an old habit. So we'll get the setup right again. Make sure I'm right here. Choke up just a little bit. Hover. Ooh, that was perfect. So remember, when you are doing technical swing stuff, that's great. And I'm all for having that repetition. That's the only way we're obviously gonna retrain our swing, but make sure we're not also developing any bad alignment habits. Let's see if we can do one more. That was a good miss. So the alignment mirror is also super good with driver. Again, alignment's key from wedges to irons to woods, but if your driver alignment is messed up, man, it makes it hard. And you can also see, just to make sure, again, you're getting that instant feedback. Like, okay, am I too far forward? Because that's gonna lead to typically steep, the old dreaded sky mark. But then sometimes players go too far back to try and lift it up. So you can just look, make sure, hey, it's good, ball position's good. I just like the feedback that you get instantly. Oh, and then you just do that. Perfect. I think the biggest thing to remember too when hitting driver is to keep it simple. You know, I've had the chance to talk to Scott Fawcett, the creator of Decade Golf, several times on the podcast, and I can't tell you how many times he has said, just hit one shot shape, hit one shot. You don't need a wind shot, you don't need a fade or a draw, you just need one. You don't need both, you don't need a high or a low, you don't need a stinger, one driver shot. So when you get here, it's easy to do. You can just, again, make sure setup's good and we're not getting my shoulders, and a lot of players tend to get open, so we can just check that line right there. But it just lets you really make the most of your block practice. Oh, be good. And so when you do go to the range, work on your driver a lot more often, because distance really is the thing that's separating most players. And one reason you might not be getting the distance that you want is because you just set up incorrectly. You might be here, you might be open, you might be closed. So we just go to the range and we use the mirror to practice the same thing over and over again. God, those are good. So to make sure we're using this right though, we got to definitely position it. So right here, I can only see my head in the mirror, just even like the top of my hat. If I go here, I'm gonna obviously be too close to the ball. So we have to make sure we're getting this in the right spot, because what we wanna have is be able to see our shoulders, because look at this. If you're like so many golfers, you're right here. Your right forearm gets up, get your shoulders left, and it's just easy to get into that habit. Some golfers might do the other, which makes it a little easier to hit that draw, but again, we still wanna be pretty much setting up neutral, but you have to position the mirror correctly, which is why it can be a little easier if you're hitting off a mat or simulator, since you don't have to move with divots and stuff. But again, making sure we're good. All right, I see my head's in a good spot, my shoulders are in a good spot. Alignment is not the issue now. Oh, it's amazing how much better you hit golf shots when you're aligned properly. I would argue it's the biggest mistake that golfers make. It's right up there. It's either weak grip or bad alignment, but usually, unfortunately, it's both. So again, we're here, making sure we're in a good setup position. Good miss. And remember, when we're doing block practice, to always be recording our swing sometimes, so we're not developing any bad habits. The mirror should definitely help, but record your progress too. It's fun to document the journey. Make sure you know, maybe you used to be here, now you're here. Like, it's really fun to watch your swing evolve. You can tell I'm a big fan of the alignment mirror. It is definitely going to be a staple in my golf bag, and it does fit easily in the large pocket that you have. So even if you have a stand bag like myself, fits right in there, but you can use it a lot. I cannot stress enough, guys, if you want to get better, if you want to play more consistently, if you want to hit it longer, you want to make flush contact, check your alignment. Most of the time, issues stem from a bad grip or bad alignment, and this thing is going to fix that. But also your weight, your head position, and your ball position. When you have all that up, you are set up for success. It's easy to use, you take it down, you start using it, and that's why I love these training aids from WhyGolf. I'm a big fan of all of their training aids because I've written about so many over the years as a golf freelance writer. I've tested everything. And let's get real, a lot of them are just not worth your money. WhyGolf is not like that. I've had the creator on the podcast, I've learned about their innovation, and they're out to help golfers suck less. They are no doubt Wicked Smart Golf approved, and I absolutely love this one and want you guys to invest in it so that you can practice like a pro. When you practice the right way, you're not going to develop those bad habits. You're going to have more consistency in practice, which is going to lead to more fun and lower scores on the course. So the biggest benefits, it's easy to use, it's lightweight, you can carry it in your bag, you can use it indoors, you can use it on the driving range, works for right-handed, works for left-handed, and it's a lot more helpful than alignment rods that are only going to help with one part of the game. So if you're ready to get started with this alignment mirror, make sure you use the code WICKEDSMART at checkout. You're going to save 15%, or you can just click the link that I have pinned down below in the comments or in the description. Plus, make sure to check out some of their awesome training aids. You're going to get that 15% off for any of the ones like the pressure plate, the arm alarm, and everything else. So make sure you are practicing the right way so you can show up to the course, shoot lower scores, and probably suck a lot less.